today let's continue talking about the what to say Power BI, and then I'll just like discussing for anyone who still don't have the team, okay, to make sure that all of you have team already, and some teams may be able to accept like one or two more members. Okay, right. Okay, let's talk about that one later on. Okay, now let's continue talking about Power BI. So everyone, could you please start your Power BI desktop, and then let's open the file that we did on last class. Okay, on last class we talked about the Power BI and the way in order to get the data and created some new columns. Okay, some new columns. Okay, okay, just what belong. Okay, in this one, okay, our last class we had the ABC sales file, okay, that we got from the Excel file. You can see that in this one, okay, in this example that we got, we had the file. We had the file to be get into Power BI from Microsoft Excel, and in this file we had like altogether 7 worksheets. So once we get into Power BI, we will get like 7 tables altogether. And because when Power BI analyze the data that we have, it will try to just create a model for you. In this case, okay, the way that Power BI tries to do for you is that it will check in different tables, do you have the same field name or column names or not? If they are the same, Power BI will try to link them and create the relationships by itself. So make sure that, okay, if you have like some similar column name or field name, okay, just come to see in Power BI screen in the model page, whether they link or not. So what is the usefulness of having the link or relationship in different tables? In this one, once you created the report, or when you just like try to create the visualizations on the report screen, some kind of data need to have the link. For example, okay, let me create a new page of the report. Suppose I say that I would like to create the bar chart. Okay, I create the bar chart in Power BI, and I say that, okay, when I analyze from my data, you can see that, okay, if I want to get the order, okay, I want to know which company or which customer order from us. You can see that if I use just the orders table, orders table has just like everything except the name of the customer, okay, that we want. The things that we have is just customer ID. So if you would like to have the name of the customer, you can see that the name of the customers is located here in the customer table. You have company name. Okay, so if you would like to have the company name to be displayed in your chart, okay, let me just like create the order first. Okay, if I have customer ID, you can see that just the customer ID is not enough in order to locate our customer name. If you you may see this one. Okay, apart from that one, for the order table itself, doesn't tell us that what product that the customer purchased. So what do we have to do? We need to use the data from different table. So that means if you want to know that, okay, what product that the customer purchased from us, you have to go to order details table. Okay, it tells us like the product ID. But in here, you can see that in the order detail itself, it doesn't tell us the name for the product as well. It just tells us for the amount of money, the quantity that we purchase. So the things that we need to have among different tables is that you need to have the relationship, so that means นะครับ okay let me just like remove something a bit okay um, suppose I remove the relationship between orders and customer out see what happened ครับ okay suppose I remove this I remove the relationship between orders and customers it means that if I would like to find a visualization for the orders that has been purchased by different customer you can't identify the customer name because they are not linking นะครับ you don't know that okay this customer ID is this company name นะครับ so what does it mean in this one suppose I say that I would like to get let's say I would like to get the orders detail hang on I go to order detail and then I just like choose the quantity นะครับ I choose the quantity and then I go to customer นะครับ I go to customers and then company name you can see that in here นะครับ the Power BI is trying นะครับ is trying to tell us นะครับ which customer purchase what product but unfortunately because you don't have the direct relationship นะครับ you don't have the relationship because you can see that right now customer doesn't link with anything else นะครับ any other table so that's why when it shows the customer name in here it doesn't tell the real quantity because you can see that every company seems to have like same quantity that is wrong for sure นะครับ so that's why when you have to just like when you see something strange like this just try to check on the relationship whether there are something wrong or not for example in here the reason why orders cannot be shown correctly the details of the order cannot be shown correctly because actually in here we know the quantity but we don't know which company purchased directly the reason is because the company name must be linked นะครับ to get the name of the customer or the company of the customer who should purchase the product from us so in this one okay you may have to check first in this one you can see that the customer here they have customer ID between orders table and customer table and they are not linked then you have to check for the reason why they don't link together okay so firstly you may have to go to check with the original data นะครับ secondly you may have to check for the data type or thirdly if you say that okay they can be linked together okay then you may just like create the link by yourself so what do I mean in this one when you see two fields with the same name นะครับ you may drag them นะครับ from one the field from one table to the other field in another table like this นะครับ so it will just like analyze and then create the relationship for you you may just check by double click on the line and see now customer ID has been linked between two tables order table and customers table so this one means that if you have to do anything that is related to the field or the column in customer table นะครับ now you can do it already for example if you would like to find out or just like pick a field or a column in your visualization นะครับ from orders detail and you want to know the company name that belongs to the customer you can do it right now นะครับ so you can see that when we go back to the visualization นะครับ in the report screen here you can see that right now you have different company name with different order quantity already because right now the company name นะครับ that is located in the customer table is linked with the orders table and the orders table is linked with order details that means right now when we know the quantity นะครับ that somebody purchased นะครับ if you want to know who somebody is we can refer to orders table to get the customer ID and when you get the customer ID it can be linked to the customer table to get the company name นะครับ like this so this one you get the correct representation or visualization in this chart already นะครับ so what did we learn on last time นะครับ apart from this kind of relationship you can see that the original data นะครับ the original data of the orders detail table นะครับ we had orders we had order ID product ID unit price quantity discount only นะครับ so in this one if we didn't have just like the what to say the amount of money ครับ in this one in this original table it shows just unit price and quantity and discount only นะครับ so when you just like create the chart for this value the thing is that okay let me just create another chart once again from the original data at most you can show quantity นะครับ you can show quantity นะครับ just that because the quantity is the only amount of or number of items that customer purchase from us only but the point is that we didn't have the details นะครับ we didn't have the details in terms of the amount of money for example apart from the quantity how much did the customer purchase from us นะครับ how much did the customer purchase from us the things that we had to do is that we had to create a calculation in Microsoft Power BI so what is it the first thing is that when you would like to create the calculation in Microsoft Power BI นะครับ in this one if you would like to create the value นะครับ if you would like to create some value or some calculation from Power BI directly นะครับ from Power BI directly the things that you have to do is that you have to create the new things that we call it as column นะครับ that we call it as column นะครับ just won't be long in order to create the column นะครับ how will the column do นะครับ how will the column do actually for the column it just show us like this นะครับ just show us like this when you have this is the original data that we have นะครับ until discount นะครับ if you would like to have the new column that means you want to have the data for every single record or every single row like this we call the values that we created new as this one as the new column นะครับ so the things that we normally have to do นะครับ in order to create the column is easy นะครับ but make sure that once you create the column there will be a new column created and there will be like number of values calculated in this new column for every single record or every single row for example in here you can see that we have the column that is called gross sales นะครับ the column that is called gross sale that means once you have the gross sales every single row นะครับ of data will have gross sale in here นะครับ as a calculation and the calculation นะครับ is very easy นะครับ when you would like to create the column you just like go to a specific table นะครับ that you would like to create the column first for example you would like to create a column in the table called orders detail here นะครับ after that you just go to the menu bar go to table tools you can see that there is new column here นะครับ there is new column here you just click on new column so there will be a new column created นะครับ on the right hand side of your table นะครับ as a new column and the name of the column is called column นะครับ you can change it later on นะครับ you can see that right now the name of the column is matched with this one นะครับ in the formula bar so the things that you can do is that the first one if you want to rename the column you just นะครับ change the word from column here in the formula bar to the new name for example I name it as my new column นะครับ this is the name of the new column นะครับ that will replace the word column here นะครับ after you finish entering the formula After that, for the equal sign, for number 1 here and equal sign here, don't change it because it is the syntax or the format of the calculation. Leave them like that. After that, the things that you have to do is that you enter the calculation here. So what can be entered in the what can you enter in the formula here? The first one, you can enter constant value. For example, tax rate. For example, commission rate. Second one, apart from the constant, you can enter the formula or the calculation. So normally for the formula or the calculation here, the calculation is like when you have some calculation, like you have the value from one field or one column plus the value from another column, something like that. That is the calculation. The things that we have to do is that you have to enter a part of column name to be calculated. So what do I mean? For example, suppose I say that I would like to calculate the the amount of money or the revenue that I receive from the column quantity times unit price. If you know that the calculation is quantity times unit price, you have to enter a part of the column. For example, if you want unit price, you just type unit. When you start typing a part of the column name, it just show like the field or the column that you have in here. You don't need to type the whole name. Once it appears the name of the column, this one, how do we read? It is we read from the inside of the bracket. This one is the column name of your name. So the column name is unit price from the table orders detail. We want this column. Then you just double click on this showing on this bubble. Now you get that field already or that column already. Then you just enter your formula. For example, if you have to multiply by the quantity, you just type a part of the formula here. You can see that in here we have quantity here. You just double click. So if you say that, okay, your calculation or your formula is finished already, you just press enter. You just press enter. And then Power BI will start calculating the values for you. And you can see that the name of the column is changed according to what you type in. Now you get my new column already. Okay. And the calculation is according to the formula bar that we have. Okay. So when you get this this calculation already, so you may just like create the values into the new column as you like in order to prepare the value that you want. For example, on the last class, I asked you to create the gross sales, discount amount, VAT, net sales, VAT amount, and total sales. For these values, you can see that once you just like go to that column, you can't change the value in each cell separately, because this column, all the values have been generated by this formula. So it's different from Excel in that in Excel, if you see the value in any cells, you can just like replace it with the correct value or any values that you want. But in this Power BI, if you click on it, that cell and you try to replace with the value that you want, you can't do it. If you want to change anything, you have to change the formula of the whole column. Because this cell is not just like the independent cell. It's like generated from the column formula. นะครับ so when we have this calculation already นะครับ what we learn นะครับ next from last class was that we had the visualization that looks interesting นะครับ on last class I told you that we had two of the visualization that are maps นะครับ and field maps นะครับ but anyway maps and field maps need to have the data นะครับ that you have in your table the data that you have in the table must be normally they should be นะครับ they should be or they must be the country name if you would like to let them show in the map นะครับ so when you would like to have the name then you have to just like check from your original data first how the name นะครับ or sorry how the city or the country was written นะครับ so in this one when you go to your data นะครับ the place where you have the country located นะครับ in this case it is located in the what to say let me just have a look in the order นะครับ in the order orders table when you have the orders table you can see that the original data here นะครับ okay let me just like delete this chip country first and then I'll fix it later okay this one I created on last class นะครับ you can see that we had chip address full here the problem for the chip address was that when we have the chip address it's too long to locate the country นะครับ so it means that if you have just the chip address full like this นะครับ and you would like to create the map visualization นะครับ by just specifying the location นะครับ in the orders detail นะครับ as a quantity like this and if you specify the ship address นะครับ you can see that in here it doesn't show anything for us the reason is because นะครับ the reason is because the chip address here is not the country but it's like the problem is that the original data that we have right now it's just like the full address the things that we have to do is that we need just the country what should we do firstly you have to analyze the data that we get for example if you just like read from the ship address full นะครับ in the orders table you can see that every single นะครับ every single record ship address full consists of the address unfortunately the address or the country in the ship address full is a part of the ship address full then we have to extract it into another column what should we do in order to just like break or separate the country นะครับ from the ship address into another column you have to see the nature of the country where it's located in the ship address full column firstly you can see that it's located on the right hand side นะครับ it's located on the right hand side of the ship address full column next before we have the country นะครับ we have comma and then we have a space and then we follow by country name so you can see that we have to split this one out นะครับ when we see the pattern of the data like this นะครับ appears every time the things that you have to use in order to break the country นะครับ from the original column is that you have to use comma to separate in this case this one we call the symbol that we see in every single records as delimiter นะครับ delimiter is the symbol that we use to separate นะครับ some value นะครับ from another value นะครับ normally we just use the delimiter to separate a part of the text นะครับ from the text that we have. So in this one you can see that for the ship address full it consists of the street address นะครับ including street including the house address, including the city, and finally including the um, country name. So every single value has been separated by using comma, but the comma that we are interested in is the last comma on the right hand side of every single line, because we have commaนะครับ, and then we have a space before we have the country in every single line. Okay. So the next thing that we have to do is that when we know the nature of each ship address full value already, we will use this idea in order to break the country from the ship address full นะครับ. So what I did last time was นะครับ I had to go to create the I had to go to duplicate the column first นะครับ because I still want to use the ship address full anyway นะครับ I will duplicate the ship address full into another one, and after that I'll use the delimiter, in this case it is comma, to separate the country from that column. After I create the new column that is a country already, I will delete the ship address full, the copy of the ship address full out นะครับ because I want to have just the country only, while the ship address full original one I still want to get it นะครับ so the things I did was that we have to go to home tab first and go to transform data. In this one, if you want to just like separate นะครับ or break or duplicate the column, we have to go to the Power Query Editor นะครับ the Power Query Editor. The Power Query Editor is located in the transform data นะครับ in here. We go to transform data. Then you can see that right now we have Power Query Editor screen showing นะครับ. So the things that we have to do is that if you see the notification bar like this นะครับ as a yellow one, just click refresh all the time so that you can get the latest data นะครับ. After that we go to the table that you would like to manage it. In here it's the orders table นะครับ. So for the orders table here, you can see that the ship address, right now you see the notification bar once again, just click refresh นะครับ. So you see the ship address full column already. Now we manage this column. Before we do that, we will have to duplicate นะครับ we will have to duplicate this column first. How to find the duplicate functions? Actually it is in this ribbon. But if you can't find it, you may just like right click นะครับ and then you just like see the menus in the context menu here. You can see that in here we have duplicate column, right? So we duplicate the column. Once you duplicate already, you have the same, absolutely the same content of the new column and similar name. The name in here said ship address full copy. Yeah. So we just like break this ship address full copy to be the column that we want. Have to be the values, yeah, or the column that we want. So the things that we want here is that we would like to break every single record นะครับ for the rightmost values นะครับ for the rightmost values. So it means that in here นะครับ it means that in here when you have the newly created column here already, the things that we have to do is that we will just have to break them นะครับ break them. And as I told you earlier, when you have to break this column, okay, we want the rightmost comma นะครับ as the delimiter to break this value out นะครับ okay, so in here the way to break this value นะครับ we will have to click and choose this column first นะครับ to manage it, and then you can see that in here นะครับ I can't see your duplicate โอเคครับโอเคครับ boom I will just like show you again นะครับ okay I undo this one first okay I remove it okay so in order to duplicate the column นะครับ you just like choose that table first นะครับsorry choose that table first after that you go to the column that you want to duplicate for example in here I want to duplicate the ship address full right so I right click นะครับ you can see that once you right click already นะครับ once you right click already there will be the menu that we call it as context menu นะครับ the duplicate function is here you see the word duplicate column here นะครับ so once you see hang on let me just like try to show you in this one นะครับ right click and then see duplicate column right then you just click duplicate and then this column will be duplicate straight away so this is duplicating of the column okay so when you can duplicate the column already the next thing that we will do is that we will break this column into a part of the values and the other column is the country we will use the rightmost comma นะครับ we will use the rightmost comma space and country name นะครับ of each record นะครับ to break the value and we use this one comma as delimiter for this breaking นะครับ so when we have to use comma as the delimiter here นะครับ is that we have to go to that column first นะครับ this is the ship address full copy that we want to break them after that you go to the group that is called transform and then you will see split column นะครับ you will see split column just won't be long oh sorry class that's why you don't see my screen I share Power BI but I don't share the Power Query sorry I go to this one I share the screen to you okay let me just do it again นะครับ sorry นะครับ I just realized that you just see different screen from me okay so this one นะครับ firstly we want to break the ship address full in the orders table so you have to click on orders table first so that you can see the column that we want to break นะครับ after that you can see that when we have the ship address full column here นะครับ we just right click and then you will see duplicate column in here you see duplicate column in here ครับ this is the column that we are going to duplicate after that when you click นะครับ the new column will be duplicated from original column that we have นะครับ this is chip address full copy we will break this column นะครับ we will break the column into the country that we want and the country for every single record is located on the rightmost value นะครับ and this part of the value has been separated by comma นะครับ and then space and then country name like this for every single record then we will use comma นะครับ as the breaker in here we call it as the limiter how to break this column นะครับ in order to break the column นะครับ into the parts that you want นะครับ you have to choose that column first นะครับ I go to ship address full copy column after that you see that we have the tools that we call split column that is located here นะครับ in the transform group then you choose split column นะครับ the way in order to split column is that we use delimiter นะครับ in this case because we know that it has comma in every single record นะครับ for the ship address full then I just click by the split column by delimiter first. After that it asks us that okay which delimiter are you going to use. We know that the data has comma, we use comma นะครับ but if it has like some other values, for example equal sign, semicolon, space or tab or other symbols, you may choose as you like นะครับ in this one it is comma. Yeah. After that which comma that you would like to use นะครับ leftmost, rightmost or each occurrence นะครับ you can see that in here because they have like various commas. The comma that we want to use is the rightmost comma นะครับ then we choose rightmost comma and then click OK. So you can see that right now the country is splitted out from the shipment at the ship address full copy นะครับ so in this one นะครับ in this one suppose we say that okay we want to split every single values นะครับ for every single comma that it exists นะครับ that is exists. The things that you have to do is that you had to just like split by using every single occurrence of comma นะครับ let me just show you. Now I just like delete this to column out first นะครับ and then I show you what I want to do. In here for the original ship address full นะครับ I duplicate the column first. After that I go to my new copy of the ship address นะครับ I go to split column by delimiter. In this one if I choose comma but right now I choose each occurrence of the delimiter, let's see what happened. You can see that right now every single value will be separated into different new column here ครับ but you can see that because the ship address full doesn't have the standard. If you split like this you can see that the rightmost value for some record it has a country name while some record has now value. So that means this one is wrong. This is not the correct way to split the column in this example. But for some example or sorry for some cases or for some data, if the value that has been prepared in a column is standardized, for example they may have like first one it's the street the house นะครับ is the house number นะครับ comma street name comma city comma country comma zip code. If every single record has the same standard value like this you can split นะครับ you can split all of them by using the occurrence of the comma on the delimiter. But in this case you can see that this one is failed. We don't use this one. So the things that we have to do is that we have to just like use the value that is useful only. In this case you can see that just the rightmost delimiter works นะครับ so in this one you can see that the rightmost value นะครับ of after the rightmost comma delimiter is the country นะครับ and they are like this นะครับ every single record has the same standard. That means the rightmost value is the country. Then you can split successfully. So to split นะครับ we did it as I did it before. We choose that column first and go to split column by delimiter. After that we choose comma but we use rightmost delimiter only นะครับ then we just click OK. So you can see that right now the rightmost delimiter split the country out of the ship address full copy นะครับ so right now it's like successfully splitted. Now let's check the value a bit. In order to check the value we just go to the small triangle symbol that is a filtering and have a look. you can see that in here, every single record has the correct value because you can see that there is no now value นะครับ in this column at all. That means every single record has the value of this one. It is a country นะครับ okay. So right now, let's see the chip address full copy once again. It seems like we have some values, but I'm not sure whether it works properly or not. In this case, okay, if you just like scan through the chip address full copy that we cut out or we split the country already. Another one that we may be able to split is zip code. But I can tell you that it's not always correct because some of the values นะครับ some of the values like in here on my screen, you can see that it's 8 Johnstown Road, Cork, company co.cork. You can see that co.cork here is not the zip code for sure. So it means that in here, if you try to break this column once again or split this column once again to obtain the zip code, it might not be successfully done นะครับ so that's why you have to understand the data first นะครับ that you would like to do. If you can't split, it means that you can't split นะครับ for example the zip code in this case. And somebody said that, hey, apart from zip code, can we split the house address or not? You can see that house number. Most of them are okay, but some of them, for example, in this example here, in this record, it is Metaderos 2312. Here, if you split it, instead of having the house number, you get Metaderos 3312. That might not be the house number. Or Rambla, the Catalunya. In here, it is not the number as well. So once you split like this, it doesn't work. So it means that in this column, chip address full, at most, we can split the country. We can't split anything else. Okay, so I just like stop splitting. I think the chip address full that I split the country is enough. Then it means that the copy of the chip address full that we copied before is useless for us. I will delete this column. While the original chip address full, we still need it. Because later on, if we would like to analyze something else, we can just like use that original data. Now I just want to delete the chip address full copy one out. The way in order to delete that column is that you go to that column first, right click and then choose remove. The data, it will be the column will be eliminated. After that, you get the chip address full copy 2. That is the splitted column. It is a country นะครับ then I just like have to rename this column first by right click and choose rename. So we get the column renaming box. We just like type the new name in here. I said that it is chip country. Okay, I name this column as chip country. I press enter. Be careful นะครับ whenever you have to manage or when you have to just like do something with your data in the Power Query editor, just check first whether all the data type is correct นะครับ or it's the things that you want or not. If it's not, just change it now นะครับ because I mean like it is better than you just like do the visualization and then you just realize later on that it doesn't work, something like that นะครับ Okay, now you get the chip country already. Unfortunately, you can see that in front of the chip country, it has a space. The space is the consequence from splitting because you know before that, before you split, the last comma, the last comma comes with the space before you have the company, because you have before you have the chip country. So what should we do? In order to manage this kind of thing, you have to know the nature of the data. In here it has a blank followed by country name นะครับ followed by country name. So the things is that you have to eliminate the blank here. In order to eliminate the blank, somebody said, hey, we learned from the previous function that we did, it was splitting. Can we split the space นะครับ can we split the space นะครับ and the ship country and then we delete the space out? Yeah, you may be able to do that. It's not wrong นะครับ for example in here somebody said, oh, we do like this, we go to ship country นะครับ we go to ship country and after that, okay, let me just like duplicate this ship country first because I just like want to do something later on. Okay, in here I say that I want to split the space from the country name. Can I do that? Yes. The things we do is that we just go to the ship country, go to split column by delimiter once again. But right now we want to split the space นะครับ we want to split the space at the rightmost delimiter. Actually, because it has just a space and the country name, it can be leftmost, rightmost, or each occurrence of the delimiter. They should be similar นะครับ Okay, and then you click OK. You can see that right now the space is splitted from the ship country already. Right now the ship country นะครับ doesn't have any leading space in front, and then you can delete the ship countries that is just the space only นะครับ eliminate that column out, then you get the correct ship country already. That is one way. Or the other way, somebody said, can we have some other function that is easier than or better than just the splitting space from the country name? I can tell you that yes, we have. And the function in here, we call it as to trim นะครับ to trim the text. Trimming the text is the way that when the text has like some values that shouldn't be exist in that column, especially for the leading space นะครับ we can trim it. And the way in order to trim the value in here is that you just go to the column that you want to trim it, right click นะครับ and right now you can see that there are lots of functions. The functions that we have to use is in transform นะครับ as a transform you can see the trim function that is here นะครับ the trim function that is here. Just click trim. Once you click trim, you can see that the leading space will be removed. The leading space will be removed, and then this one, all the text is trimmed already นะครับ all the text is trimmed already, and then you can just like use this data for other purposes. Okay, this is like the way to split the text นะครับ from like the original columns that we have. Okay, and after that, when we finish, don't forget to close and apply the Power Query Editor นะครับ and wait until the Power Query Editor is trying to just help you นะครับ is trying to just help you. When you get this idea already นะครับ now it comes back to the original Power BI screen นะครับ okay, the Power Query Editor is closed already. The next thing is that you can just like manage your visualization as you want. In this one, we want to have the ship country instead นะครับ we have to apply change first. Okay, if some visualization doesn't fix for you นะครับ if it doesn't fix for you, you may just like clear it out and create the new one นะครับ it might be better than just like let it fix by itself นะครับ in this one, suppose I say that I want a map นะครับ I want the map and then I want to have the total sales นะครับ and then I want to have the ship country ครับ so right now I get just like the one that I want already นะครับ okay right so this is what we have in the splitting of the column นะครับ and duplicating the columns that we may be able to do after that นะครับ after that what do we have to learn นะครับ what do we have to learn in Power BI the next thing that I'll just like show you is that if we want to get the data นะครับ if we want to get the data that is not the Excel file นะครับ what are we going to do นะครับ we have like various type of the data that Power BI can manage นะครับ whenever you would like to get the data into Power BI นะครับ so in this case okay let me just like check the file for you first before I just like let you just like download the file just give me 1 minute นะครับ Okay นะครับ everyone just log in into your MUAC e-learning ครับ I just want you to see the new file that I just recently showing you on the screen นะครับ just have a look in here you can see that right now okay we have like 7 more files นะครับ that are employee suppliers category product customer order detail and order นะครับ they may sound familiar to you the reason is because in here นะครับ each file นะครับ was individual worksheet from sales order Excel file what do I want you to do I want you to download the worksheet from employee to order into your computer ครับ employee to order to your computer okay after that นะครับ we are going to get this workbook นะครับ into your Power BI นะครับ okay just download this file first okay and then we just like do it later we'll just do it next on นะครับ one thing that I want you to see นะครับ once you download the file is that if you have a look นะครับ if you have a look this file นะครับ is not Excel workbook directly นะครับ these are not like Excel workbook directly but if you have a look นะครับ each file will be ended with .csv นะครับ for example suppliers .csv in the future นะครับ you will have to face with these kind of file นะครับ what are they this file นะครับ is called comma separated value file นะครับ or CSV they are not the direct Excel file นะครับ they are not the direct Excel workbook นะครับ so but actually what is these files composed of นะครับ I'll show you the original view of data นะครับ you don't need to just like open it because for any yeah you just like oh, okay if you just like want to see it that's fine as well yeah I forget it because actually right now all of you should have like the computers that are run on Windows if you just like would like to open this file it can be done okay just have a look let me open the file called orders.csv originally you can see that in here if you double click นะครับ normally it's Excel openable นะครับ it will be the things that look similar to the Excel file นะครับ but actually it is not it is comma separated value how do we gonna see the original view of this file okay when I would like to open it up right now I have to right click it choose open with in this one I choose notepad yeah and then you can see that this one is the original data every single value hang on oh sorry I have to show you with the screen okay what I did was I just right click on that file and choose open with choose notepad this is the original file that we haveนะครับ this is original file that we have you can see that in here นะครับ it is the data นะครับ value and then comma value comma นะครับ even on the first row it is the value comma 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 so it means that this one it is what we call comma separated value file or CSV นะครับ because whenever you have to manage it นะครับ especially when you would like to get the data into different programs นะครับ you have to make sure that that program support of getting this kind of data otherwise if that program doesn't support the comma separated value files you can't get it or you can't import that file into your program นะครับ okay and Excel has a capability in order to import or to open this file so that's why if you open this file the comma separated value นะครับ in Excel it just like try to help you in order to see this file นะครับ as the Excel like format นะครับ so right now when you have to get it into Power BI นะครับ you have to use a different kind of files to be getting because it's not Excel anymore it is .csv file that is different kind of file okay somebody may have the question like if I open this file by using Excel and then I save it as Excel file can I do that I can tell you that we may be able to do we just go to file and then save as นะครับ and after that you just have to change the file type to be Excel workbook first Now you get order as an Excel workbook. So in this one, you have Excel workbook name as the order workbook already. And then once you open it up, this is a real Excel file. But you can see that in this example, we have altogether 7 files. You have to waste a lot of time in order to manage this. So that's why let's make Power BI to fix this problem for you straight away. How can we do that? The way in order to do, firstly, I would like you to close the original ABC sales file first because we have to use the new one. I don't want you to mix it up with the file that we did already. So everyone just save your original file first, the ABC sales, and then close the Power BI. Save it. After that, I want you to open up or start Power BI. We have to use the new one. Don't mix up with the old file that we have. We go to Power BI. Sorry. Start your Power BI. We are going to get the new data, new set of data, consists of 7 files altogether. In this one, you just close this yellow screen first, the landing screen here. I will just like start from going to get the file from here. We go to get data, and then you can see that the text /CSV is here. Text /CSV is here. Just click text /CSV. Go to locate the file that you have in here. I get the order file, the order CSV file, order.csv file. I choose open. Right now, it will just like have the preview data for you. You may load directly and fix it later, or you can transform data right now. So let me explain to you first. So right now we are getting order.csv file. File origin 874 Thai Windows. Here is what we call just like the language that we use. The language that we use doesn't mean English or Thai or whatever thing. It's a language in the computer. In here, it means that normally, if we use like the computer that has been created, or just like the Windows that has been installed in Thailand, normally we use the file originality as the 874 like this. But if it is in other country, you may just like set up the file origin that can match with the language that you have. If you don't know, you may ask you may ask your colleagues or the IT people in your company, or you may search from the internet as well. That okay, what is the file origin, or the file country code, of the file in that country. Okay. So in this one, we use the default one that is 874. Delimiter is comma. So if you don't know what delimiter that this file is using, for example, in here, you can see that in here, when the type is comma separated values, it should be comma. It should be. I have to use the word. It should be. But to make sure, you open it up with Notepad, so that you see what kind of delimiter that this file is using, and you see lots of commas. For sure, this one use comma as the delimiter. Because sometimes somebody, when they create the file, they may use like different symbols. For example, semicolon. They may use tab. They may use space. It can be like various kind of delimiter, but they always call this kind of file as CSV or comma separated value file anyway. Okay, so after you just like having a look on this one already, you can see that in here, the the file that has been that is getting right now is still wrong because the column name นะครับ is still wrong. It should be order ID, customer ID, blah blah blah, and so on. But right now it has column 1 to column 7. So in this one, if you decide to fix it now, click transform data. Once you click transform data, the Power Query editor will be starting. After that, you just like manage these column headings, as we did before. The things that we are going to do here is that we will eliminate row 1 first because this one is not related as a heading. And after that, we will promote the row number 2 to be the column heading. Okay, let's do it. So if you can do quicker than me, you may do it now. But if it's wrong, you can just like cancel the apply steps to undo the things that you did wrongly. So in this one, I want to delete the first row. I go to home, remove rows, remove top rows, and then I choose just one row to be deleted only. Click OK. Right now, the first record or the first row of mine will become the new header very soon. Okay, the unrelevant row is deleted already. Now I just promote this first row to be my header. Now I go to transform group. In here, choose use first row as header. Okay, you can see that right now this one is correct already for the first header. And after that, we just like see all of the data type that this kind of column should be. So in this one, assume that every single column is correct for its data type already. The next thing that I'll do is that I will close and apply. I will close and apply. Okay. Right now, if we have a look, just wait a bit. If we have a look in our data, we have just one table only that is called order table, because we're just getting one table only. And if we go to the model screen, you see just one table only that is order table. The next thing that we have to do is that we will get other tables into our Power BI file. So let's save this Power BI first, because when we get it already, if the Power BI is crash, you still have that file. Okay, I click save, click file and then save. This one, I'll save this file. I'll save this file as ABC sales new get. Okay, I go to my folder. Set ABC sales new get. Click save. After that, I'll start getting like other CSV file. Okay, I go to get data text or CSV, and then I go to the next one. I want to get order detail. Everyone just do it. Go to order detail CSV file and then click open. After that, okay, let's check for everything of file origin. Yeah, the default one is correct. When do you have to change the file origin? Once you scan through your data and you found that there are some unreadable text. If there are some unreadable text, that is the time to change the file origin. But if all values can be read, there is no problem. Leave it like that. The limiter here is comma. Okay. So in this one, the heading is correct. I will not do anything with it. I choose load. So once you load this data into your Power BI, Power BI will try to just like check for the relationship in the model as well. Now, if you have a look in the model, it's created automatically. The reason is because in these two tables, they have the same field name that is called order ID. So that's why Power BI is trying to link them together for you. Okay, right. Now, I will get the third file. I get data in the text and CSV for the next file that is customers. Okay. So you can see that right now the customer file, okay, has the wrong headings. Has a wrong heading, the column headings. Then we have to transform the data here. Once you click transform, the Power Query editor will be started. After that, you can replace the first row to be the heading of the column straight away. So I go to transform group and then choose use first row as headers. Now, all the headers the column headers are correct already. So the next thing is that we check the data type. And you can see that, okay, everything is correct because it's all text. Okay. After that, I just check the validity of the data a bit by just moving my mouse pointer on the green line here. Okay, 91 valid, 0 error, 0 empty. Okay. Okay, correct. Okay. And the last column, yeah. So no error, no empty, everything is valid. Then I'm fine with this table. I click close and apply. Then if you go to the model once again, the customer table here is linked to the order table automatically because there are the fields with the same name that are customer ID. Okay, let's move on. We will get the data for the fourth table. I go to text and CSV once again. Product is the next table that I'm going to get. Okay, you can see that right now the second column, they are not our data. Actually, they are just like a blank line and also the heading of this worksheet only. We don't want it, then we have to transform it, and we will promote the next row to become the headers of the file, the headers of the table, I mean. Then we click transform data. And then we have to eliminate the first two records, or the first two rows out. In here, you can see that it's different from Excel. It's different from Excel because you can't just like right click and then choose delete. But you have to choose remove rows instead. We remove row 1 and row 2. Choose remove rows. Remove top rows. We don't want it. And then we delete 2 rows. This is to delete the first 2 rows that you see in the Power Query editor out. Then you just click OK. So 2 unwanted rows will be removed. Then we just like promote the first row as the headers of this table. Choose use first row as headers. Now we get the correct headers for the products table already. Just check for the correctness of every single column by moving the mouse pointer to the green line. Yeah, the first one is okay. Second column, correct. Third one, correct. Fourth one, correct. Fifth one, no empty, no null, no error. Sixth one, correct. Seventh one, correct. Eighth one, correct. And the ninth one is correct. And the last one, discontinue column, no error. Yeah. Okay. We are fine with this table already. Just click close and apply. If you are happy with all of the settings, including the data type as well, okay, if you are fine with it, just click close and apply. Okay, right now just check with the model and see whether the newly created table has a relationship yet or not. Now it is products table, right? Just click. You can see that the products table here is linked with the order details because we have the same fields that are product ID between these two tables. Yeah, if we are happy with it, let's move on to getting the next table. We go to get categories. Okay, this is category ID, category name, description. Yeah, this is what we want. Then just click load. There's no change because it's correct already. And you can see that right now in the model, the categories is automatically created the relationship with the product because each product has its category and they are linked through category ID column. After that, we get the next worksheet or the next file. Employees. Okay. This one, as I told you earlier, you have to understand your data too. You can see that for Andrew Fuller, because he is the boss in the sales department, he doesn't need to report to anyone. So even it has the now reports to now, but it's correct in this case. Okay, the column names, they are correct. Then we can load the data straight away. One thing that I want to tell you, if you go to the model, once you have to just like get each file, and if the if the tables that you recently added or getting into your Power BI file doesn't have the link yet, just be patient. Wait until all of the tables are just like loaded already and see later on. If you if you get every single file already and there is some table that doesn't have the link or relationship, then you just check what's going on. So right now we load 6 tables already. Then we load the last table. We get the last table. It is suppliers. In this one, the table is looks okay. The headers are okay. We have just 3 fields or 3 columns only. So if you are not sure, just go to transform the data and check a bit. For example, if you want to check the correctness, you just have to go to Power Query Editor and move your mouse pointer over the green line to check. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's okay, it's correct. I click close and apply. Right now, you can see that when the last table is created, the suppliers here, it's linked with your table already. Next, what are we going to do? Assume that you accidentally getting the data twice, the same file twice. Okay, let me just do the easiest table first. Okay, let's have a look. I go to the data sheet and go to see which one? Employees. Yeah, because it doesn't have many records, so that we can just see it easily. So the original data, we have just 9 people only. Okay, 9 people. Okay, what if you go to get the employees table once again? What will happen? You go to text and CSV and then go to employees and open it once again. If you load this table as a second time, what will happen? What will happen? Let's go to see the data here. You can see that once you load the data, it will replace the old data that you have, because Power BI will analyze first whether you have absolutely the same data or not. If they are absolutely the same, the data will be replace the old oneนะครับ so be careful before you load any pieces of data. Make sure that you don't load them twice, because if you just like change something a bit, for example, if we say that, okay, for your first file that you downloaded, Andrew Fuller had to report to someone, and then you just like reload this file once again, and this time Andrew Fuller reports to no one, then the new one will be replaced the old one. So that means the Andrew Fuller who had to report to someone will be replaced by report to no one instead. That might be wrong. So in this case, make sure that you download all the files just one time only. So what should we do? In order to download the file, okay, you may just like have to copy your file, okay, into a separated folder first. For example, right now, the file that I have right now, I just download it, right? But if I say that, no, actually the correct one, the better way that we should do is that I just have to move my fileนะครับ, to a separated folder first, not just the general folders like download folder นะครับ okay, in this one, okay, I just create the new folder. Okay. So I just like move it here so that when I get the data นะครับ I can get the correct one นะครับ not the missing one นะครับ I get the data and choose text CSV นะครับ and then I go to my newly created folder. Okay, so these are like my grouping folders. The grouping files that I just like copy into this folder only. So this is the way that you should do. Okay, so this is the way in order to get the CSV file into your Power BI. So up to this point, do you have any questions? So right now, if you don't have any questions, you can see that right now, today we learned the way in order to get the data already. Oh, just a little bit more that I want to let you see. Right now, once you get the file, you get the employee file twice. Have a look on the right hand side. In this one, Power BI create the new table for you called employees 2. This is not what we want, because we want just the employee worksheet or employee table only. If you go to modeling page, you can see that employees will be linked to another table as well. In here it links with the other table. This is not what we want, because we have 2 of employees table. That is not what we want. The things that you have to do นะครับ don't leave it like this, because it may cause a problem later. You have to decide which table that is wrong, and then you have to delete that table out. How to delete that table? In order to delete that table is easy. You just go to data tab. Go to the table that you don't want. In this case, I don't want employee 2 table. I have to right click and then choose delete นะครับ It will ask for confirmation. Just click delete employees 2. So now it's gone นะครับ We have just like one employee table only. Then go to the modeling once again, and you can see that in here it has just one employees table that is here already. That's fine. Okay, right. Okay, so we learned already how to get the data from different files นะครับ to make the um, Power BI file in here นะครับ you have like in this case you have the CSV file to be getting นะครับ and then we get just like the relationship or the model that has been created automatically and these and each of the relationship has been justified by the field or the column name of each table นะครับ and its data type when the data type นะครับ are similar or the same when the field name or the column name are the same then Power BI will try to create the relationship for you so that you can just like link them and refer to them whenever you have to create the visualizations นะครับ okay right so up to this point do you have any question for getting the data into Power BI file from different type of data like CSV file something like that apart from getting the data from outside นะครับ external files like um, .csv or the comma separated value file the Excel file the files that you want to get into Power BI can be the combination as well. For example, if you say that, okay, three tables that you would like to get into Power BI are from 3 different CSV files, but the other 3 are from the worksheet. Can we do that? The answer is that is yes, you can do. Let me just show you a little bit นะครับ Let me show you just a little bit. I close this Power BI file first นะครับ and then I'll show you for the getting of the file of the Power BI from different sources นะครับ in this one นะครับ suppose I said that the first 3 are from the different CSV file while the other 4 are from Excel นะครับ okay in here I'll get the data just won't be long I get text and CSV นะครับ from 3 different file from orders นะครับ okay Anthony yes ครับ I will post a video for you now I just like actually I finished around 90% of like the uploading of these files already just have just a little bit touch up and then I just like announce the link for you นะครับ okay but if anyone who would like to just like see the videos if it's not ready now it's posted already on my channel in the YouTube you can search by using my first name and last name นะครับ and then you see the video links anyway but anyway I have to fix it up นะครับ because I haven't put the first page of the video yet so you don't know which lecture that it is and also yeah just that the rest of them are okay yeah and just a little bit more okay then when I just like get the data already okay in here นะครับ okay the next one we can get the data from here นะครับ we just go to home and then we get sorry this one let me just delete this one first remove row top rows number 1 and then I just use first row as headers I close and apply and after that นะครับ and after that you may just like be able to get data from Excel นะครับ here and then you can choose like other worksheets that you like in this one assume that I choose like other worksheets except orders table okay and then I just click load so right now you can see that we have all of the worksheets that we want already and then we just transform it as you like so this is the way that we can do in order to get the data from different sources นะครับ okay next time we'll just continue talking about this more นะครับ okay apart from this up to this point do you have any questions about the Power BI part that I taught you today Okay, if no นะครับ right now we still have like some of your classmates that still do not have the team. Okay, so right now I have Anthony who still don't have the team. Do we have anyone else who still don't have the team? Can you please write in your in the chat box, please? We have Pasut, Tip Takan, and Anthony, right? Anybody else? Okay, let me just like check the team list. Just one belong นะครับ Okay, 3 of you, right? Okay. Okay, now just let me check นะครับ Okay, now we have I mean the rest of you who have the team already. There are 3 teams that have 4 members in the team นะครับ that have 4 members in the team. So could you please help นะครับ could you please help your classmates นะครับ so first one, okay, I'll just like fix the problem for Anthony first. Okay, Jira, sorry, I'm sorry, I read the wrong name. GAU, are you here? GAU? GAU.
Yes.
So GAU, would you mind to accept Anthony as a team member of you?
I'm sorry, Ajahn. I think my group is full. Like we have another. Well, my team member is like already 5. Sorry, I need to submit the form again.
Okay, so please submit the
Yes.
form to me again.
I'm sorry.
Who is the new member of your team? Can you tell me what is his or her name?
Let me check.
Yes.
Maybe I will type it later.
Okay. Please tell me in the line group. Okay.
Okay.
Next, Vacharaporn. Vacharaporn, are you here? Vacharaporn.
Yes.
Vacharaporn, how many members do you have?
5.
You have 5 already?
Yes.
Because right now, the one that you submit to me has just 4 people.
I add another person.
So then you have to resubmit the list for me.
I already resubmit.
Oh, okay. So the newest one is Natanan, right? You can remember his or her name, right?
Yes.
Okay, no problem. So that means the O1 does not work. Hang on, let me just do it. Hang on. Okay. Next, just a little bit. Manit, are you here, Manit? Not here. Avika, are you here, Avika?
Yes อาจารย์
Avika, how many people are there in your team ครับ
4 ค่ะอาจารย์
4, right? Okay, thank you. But I think because right now we have 3 people. If I just like put your team as 5 people, there will be the problem with the new the rest of them. Okay, so okay, now I have the solution already. Anthony, Tip Takan, and Pasut, can you form together as the new team?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we can.
Right.
Anthony, Tip Takan, and Pasut นะครับ Okay, please work as a new team นะครับ I allow this team to have 3 people because otherwise you have just like 2 people left only if I just assign one of you into the team of 4 นะครับโอเค
Will 3 people be enough for all the workload or
yes
okay
for your team it's okay นะครับ
okay
okay so that means for Anthony Tiptakan and Pasut would you please just like discuss and then just fill up the information for me นะครับ in the Google form นะครับ okay right a little more questions that you asked me is that okay Prakrit asked me that will the final exam be online yes it is online ครับ because this term is the full 100% online so the final exam will be online too นะครับ okay right okay up to this yes Avika
When will we know IMBI marks?
By this week ครับ I have to check with อาจารย์วีระ who is the marker นะครับ when he has a score I will announce to you through e-learning นะครับ I will announce through e-learning นะครับ okay very soon
Thank you
you're welcome okay so before we finish the class นะครับ everyone could you please turn on your camera ครับ so that I can capture your screen นะครับ okay just won't be long นะครับjust a little bit more นะครับ before we finish the class นะ for anyone who is not in Thailand right now นะครับ please check your internet connection especially on your final exam day นะครับ because you need to be able to access the WebEx นะครับ otherwise you cannot just like present yourself on the camera while you have the exam นะครับ and it will be the problem นะครับ just check and make yourself to be ready นะครับ okay ครับ everyone so right now I'm done with my part if you have any other questions after this นะครับ please send it through the line messenger นะครับ everyone okay ครับ everyone that's all for today and on next class we'll still continue talking about the Power BI นะครับ okay ครับ everyone you have a nice day นะครับ take care and stay safe bye bye ครับ everyone take care bye bye